on the podium here as well. She'll be the king of the air, I think. Here we go then. Semi-finals, heat number 8. Eszter Nagy from Hungary. Francesca Maini from the UK. Zara Hugenrad, big name in the sport. She is from the Netherlands. And Michaeli Sol from Brazil, who is arguably one of, if not the GOAT of all time. The GOAT of all time? Is that even a thing? She has won more world championships than anybody in the sport in the women's division. And here she is in the semi-final. We have a North, a duotone, a read-in, and a core in this semi-final. And it sounds to me like the wind's picked up again. How often do I find myself saying that? Lots of times. And I thought that wouldn't happen again today. Good timing this would be, with the finals to follow. Opening up her account in this one is a mega loop, delayed back roll, nearly steered it back over the other side, was Eszter. Trying to pronounce this name right, got nailed in the comments yesterday. We try our best. Lisp, that's what you have to think to say that correctly. Nice move for her. Really good opening move, it has to be said. In this situation, don't know how many semi-finals she's been in. Not many as my mind recalls, but that's a bloody good opening move from her. It's going to score around mid-5s, maybe up to the 6s. Maybe even a straight 6. Oh no, 5.03, reasonable. Good start to semi-final number 2. 2 heats remain after this heat. We will be running the men's final and the women's final after this. So if you have just joined us, missed a bit of action, but not too much. There is a mega loop, delayed roll for Francesca Maini, who would have had her heart in her mouth there as she was waiting for that lift to come. I think she must have given up on it. Look at this. It almost never came. Look at that drop. She almost got flown round. She was committing to a crash, I think, there. And it did come. So I think that is, for me, at least maybe a point more in extremity from Eszter's mega loop delayed roll. So expect this to be low 6s. But I wonder if they maybe saw a little butt check long after that landing. Did you see a bit of a butt check?
Yeah, but I don't think it will affect the score. Yeah, it's running through the beach, over the beach.
That was a quick break, that was.
Yeah, I was hurrying up, but the wind is definitely back a bit.
That's what I just communicated, as I felt.
But this is probably in the favor of Zara Hugenrad, because she, the rider from the Netherlands, really likes strong wind. And there, she launches herself into the sky with a massive mega loop delayed back roll, landing this one softly. This will also be a really good score for her. Nice replay of this one. I'm a bit out of breath. But this one super extended and a controlled landing. Very nice. Oh, I'm curious because Mika is the last lady to perform a trick here in this heat from the order. But now it's time for her, once the yellow flag comes up, to throw down a trick. And there it goes. She's going to the right. Looks powered. Going for a late back roll as well. Just answering to her competitors in this heat. There's a replay going probably not as high as Zara, but also really controlled on the way down. Nice. Oh. Just waiting for the score to come in here. Let's see. There's a score, 5.50. So a bit less. That's I don't know, bit less than Francesca's laid back roll. But Zara definitely has the lead with her roll. But now it's Eszter Nagy from Hungary. to go to the right herself. Full power. Going for boogie loop. And landing, stomping this one. Getting caught a bit early on the down loop there. But making it work. That's going to be another good score for her. Not the biggest, because there wasn't a lot of inversion in the roll, but still a decent score to work with in the beginning of a semi-final. Wonder what goes through Francesca's mind, because I think she really wants to be in the final. I think everyone wants that, but we'll see in a second when she goes for a second trick attempt. Okay, the score just came in for Nagy. It was a 4.1. Wasn't the highest, but another score on the board for her. And there goes. Okay, so there goes Francesca Maini from the UK, going in the front rotation with a dirty loop and landing this one cleanly as well. Luis is happy. Luis is just eating a bit of lunch, but you can see she's properly inverted, pulling on the front hand there for the dirty loop, landing this one cleanly as well. It's going to be a good score for her. And I think we're going right into a final after this. Yeah, after a short break. Okay, so now it's time to shine for Sarah Hugenrath. After the score from Francesca are coming in, because her flag is still up. Let's see what she's going to get scored for this boogie contra loop. A 5.57. There she goes, Sarah. The Dutch rider living in Tarifa, going to the left. It's probably not that powered at the moment. She out with an 8. I think it's an 8. There she goes, edging super hard to the left zone. Left foot forward. Not feeling it. Probably there's a lot of pressure on you, because if you go twice for your trick attempt and then the wind just dies on you and you're like, I really need to get this one. But yeah, let's see. Turning around again. She's on an 8-meter kite. Going back to the left foot forward game. Now I think she's going to go. Properly powered, edging super hard to the left corner of the competition box and launching herself in the sky. Ooh, with a critical kite angle. Whoa. Oh, the kite is almost above her head. It's going to rotate through the lines, no? There's a replay. It was a big boogie, but with a critical kite angle. The kite is just right now against the wind, which isn't the most perfect situation you want to be in, because then you can't really launch your kite. Because it's a bit of a sketchy situation, because if your kite is facing the wrong way, the wind, it's almost like it's released. Then you have to pull one line, but it can get stuck on the wingtip, especially on a bow shape. So let's see how she manages to get the kite back in the air. It's pulling a lot. What you also can do is just release and get it back. But I think she's managing. Small break for the other competitors. And let's just look at the scores for a second. So Francesca is leading the seat with her second trick attempt, but Mika still has to do hers. Dara unfortunately crashing her second trick, this massive boogie with a critical angle, and I just see that Zara's watch went offline because she's in the water, but her kite is, I think, fine. She's relaunching it now. Eszter Nagy in second position at the moment with a 5.0 and a 4.1, sorry. And Mika has a 5.5. I think if Mika is going to get another good score for a second trick attempt, it might launch her into first or even second position. Let's see. Zara's just busy body dragging back to her board. There's some time. I don't know if everything is alright with her kite. It looks a bit off because it's just sitting on the window there. You can see it on the nice drone footage that the kite is just on her right at the edge of the wind window. It's quite some pressure, if you're body dragging and trying to figure out what's happening with your lines and the kite, and there's like in the live stream a lot of people watching and so many people on the beach. I don't like it. I wouldn't want to be in this situation. But I think she's managing to get her kite, fixing the problem. Quite interesting to see because the red flag is still up in the sky. That means it's still the judges and the race director are still waiting for her to sort out her problem and the kite and the situation that is unfolding there. But now I see the kite back in the sky. Very good German from Luis there. She has a problem. We just said that in German. But she's back body dragging. Let's see. Are her lines inverted? Yes or no? Probably yes. Okay, there's a beautiful shot of the viewing area. If you're around in Bucharest, definitely come to Bucharest, to Parc des Dosses, where the competition unfolds. Because it's so impressive to watch all these competitors just flying above your head, going for these extreme moves. It's definitely worth a visit. And if you can't make it, then make sure to tell your friends to join the live stream and watch the best man and woman compete in the World Cup here in France. And I think Zara Hogenrod's lines are inverted. Jetski's just going there to check on her. Yeah, Luis was just saying it's a perfect time for his lunch. Yeah, there's nothing going on at the moment. So I think she's going to the beach to get her lines done. Yeah, they're definitely inverted. She's signaling, I need to land my kite. So, but now I think it's time for Mika Elisol because her kite is out of the water. She's out of the landing zone. So it's time for Mika to do her second trick attempt and probably get another good score on the board. And the yellow flag is up. And there she goes up into the sky with a massive boogie loop. And
nice.
landing this one cleanly as well. It's going to be another good score for her.
She's had to wait there as well for quite some time. And she'll be happy. Classic move then from Mika Elisol. Trying to look back at these riders as well. Obviously Mika Elisol wasn't at the Red Bull King of the Air. But two riders that had to really face off at the Red Bull King of the Air were Zara Hugenrad and Francesca Maini in the semi-final of the Red Bull King of the Air. That's the most recent event that we can go back to. And Zara Hugenrad just won that one, 23.96 to 23.71. She just clinched it to get through to the final, where she finished second in the end. So she will have that little advantage over Francesca Maini. But remember, this is about getting to the final. This isn't necessarily about head-to-head. So just got to finish in the top two. But that's not easy here with a pretty stacked heat of Mika Elisol being involved as well. And Eszter, she's got some moves as well. Mega loop board off.
Eszter landing the kite loop board off once again. Yesterday I was already looking at her and be like, yes, this is a nice move, but she really has this one unlocked, huh?
Yeah, she does. Very consistent. Nice and controlled. Good landing there as well. It wasn't the most straightforward landing. So have we seen a mega loop board off yet in this heat?
Nope. It was the first one in the heat. That kind of sets the tone for the heat.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm attacking this first place basically, or second place, because it had some decent height, But Zara's going back, still back out there.
8 meter now, or is that in
That's the
line?
same kite. She
Oh, it
just
is the
removed
same.
the line. But
Just
there's
the-
actually a trick with a high V how to do it.
Okay.
It's pretty easy actually. It goes faster than removing the line.
You have to put the bar through the V.
No, you just put the basically you have to walk through it.
Yeah.
But it goes a bit faster. But
We call that a Paul Daniels back at home. Do you know Paul Daniels?
no,
No, I mean he was basically he was a national hero at home. He was a magician.
really?
Paul Daniels.
Oh, maybe I've
Yeah,
heard
and
of him.
And a Paul
The British guy, eh?
he was an interesting guy, but he was. It's called a Paul Daniels when you feed the lines, the bar through the lines, which is a common fix for many crossed lines.
Yeah.
You don't have to take the lines off if you're listening. Just make sure you've got someone holding your kite that's just prepared nicely to stand there. And my advice is, go for the outside line first, and just as you see the outside line coming back from the kite, where you know that that's okay,
Yeah.
pull the bar through with that outside line, and then see what's left.
Yeah.
After it takes a bit of getting used to, but back home we call it the Paul Daniels.
But speaking of British kiting, there we see Francesca Maini going for a mega board of attempt and just unfortunately.
The wind just deserted her there.
Is she doing the same than Zara?
It almost looked like she went back upwind when she took
Yeah.
the board off there in the shot that we had there. So, unfortunately for Francesca, that is going to be
A crash.
Can you think of a famous magician perhaps in Germany that you could rename that move after? No one does magic in German because
No.
because things are facts.
Yeah, things are
There's
facts.
no such thing. We don't do magic.
We don't do magic, man.
You know, I can imagine you as Germans
Nah,
going
but
up to the magician like, tell me how you did that.
they are. Every time you do a magic trick, they're like, tell me now.
Tell me
How did you do this?
you
And
can't
you're like, no,
trick
it's a
me.
secret. No, it's not
It's not-
secret. Tell me now.
It's magic. Don't talk crap. I would love to see a magic show in
But
Germany.
what's also no magic is Eszter Nagy just catapulting herself
Into
with this
first place.
into first place there. Because
Very-
Francesca had a kite loop board of track crash. Zara's second trick was a crash, but now she's going for redemption for her third trick attempt. Maybe she's gonna try the boogie again, but not pulling it so low.
And we're just having fun here. We know that you have. We know that some of you can deal with magic over there, so it's not really fair to just put everybody in the same bracket. But I think your serious, factual nature is something that is you should be proud of.
Yeah, hardworking.
Hardworking. Anything else you'd add to the German characteristics?
I'm not spending that much time there at the moment, so I kind of forgot. Are we on time, hey?
Yeah.
Every time I was here before you in the morning.
Yeah, you were. I couldn't believe you were here this morning so early. I
Yeah.
didn't expect you to be in here so early.
Yeah.
All right, left foot forwards then. Zara Hugenrad has a 6.1 score. It's the highest score so far of this heat, but she needs 3 total scoring moves as the wind does appear to be a bit lighter now. I wonder if that's going to be a little concern for the race director because it's been quite slow that we've gone through the heats today. It has to be
Yeah.
said. Maybe if it had started the other way round in the morning, but hindsight is an easy thing. But we want to make sure that the riders, certainly this far up the ladder, have the best chance to perform their moves. It almost got warm in here for a second
Yeah.
because the wind stopped
It
blowing
gets
through.
quiet, but Zara Hogenrod just going for another front row kite loop, this time not super inverted, but managing to land this one. This will be another score, but I don't think she's happy with it. She threw
No.
up both her hands, indicating like, what's this, man?
Yeah, I didn't think she just liked the feedback from the kite. We're seeing more riders with hoods on this year than I think
Yeah.
I remember over the last years. So why do you think that is? I think, well, go
It's
on, you
cool.
tell me. What do you think?
I think it's just because last year it took some time to go through all the heats. We had 2 full days of competing because of the 50 knots, and then the riders had to hang on there at the land bar there, the sandbank there, sitting there just waiting it out. And I think it was also pretty cold, so
Yeah.
probably they learned the lesson. But what I think is problematic, many of these riders think when they have a hood on, they can leave the helmet on the beach, but that's not the case. We saw it yesterday. Kimo Verkerk is a bit concussed because he got his, with the hood, the board in the head, and let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, you can still put a helmet on when you're wearing a hood. But we see Michaeli Sol going for boogie contra with a delayed roll in the end and landing this one clean as well, as we know her.
I want to point out the landing here. This is a really great example of how that last rotation can be performed. We're at the last second. Look at the board here. Even here, then she lays it down. You never give that rotation, just flicking that last 180 round at the last second when you know you need it. That was a great example of timing from her. I'm trying, Rebecca. I'm trying to get that pronunciation right. That's all I think about now. Yeah, I need to know the surname then. Go on then, Marcel Kiss. Tell me how I should be. I knew that one was off. So apparently I'm getting the first name correct now. Ethter. Is it Nagy or
Nagy?
Nagy. Do you think it's this?
Nagy.
They're about to tell us.
Yeah.
Paul Daniels. Debbie McGee. So Debbie McGee was Paul Daniels' wife at home. She was the assistant, the magician's assistant.
But there's Esther going for next trick attempt. Sorry to interrupt you there, Luis.
No, it wasn't important.
Front row contra. Not as powered as we know her, right? But still a sick move. Didn't go super high.
Yeah, didn't find the wind there,
No.
unfortunately for her. But she's still in a strong position.
But Michaeli Sol is currently the first, in the first position with 3 scores on the board. Esther Nagy with 3 scores on the board as well on the fourth trick attempt here. In second, and now Francesca Maini unfortunately only has 2 trick attempts, but we know she can do something. We have seen her in King of the Air with a kite loop board off with a double added rotation. So, is she gonna go for something big now?
What do you think? What do you think?
I think she's gonna go for another kite loop board of attempts because I know she can land those. There she goes. Catching the gust. She's powered right now. Going high into the sky. Going for the kite loop board of. Oh,
good chance.
The added rotation.
The feet were never in. I think the feet were never
went
in.
But the kite was too far back. There's a replay of this one.
But I think if the feet were in,
the kite angle was
she
crazy.
would have been interested in this landing, although maybe not. Yeah, you're right. The kite position difficult as well.
But with the added.
Interesting heat this one so far.
Yeah, it's a bit of on-off again from the wind.
Yeah, but actually, if we look at the consistency of Michaeli Sol, had that move been landed though, that would have been quite strong from Francesca Maini. Photo of Paul Daniels and Debbie McGee, his assistant, there for you, Lasse.
Let me take a picture. It's actually quite nice.
Ooh, Debbie.
I just want to remember the moment.
All right, on the screen.
Perfect.
Zara Hugenrad looks like a contra loop.
It's a nice yank.
And oh no, how did that go wrong? That looks so solid. So she's coming a bit unstuck here. Takes off, look good. Front roll, front hand. Just a bit wobbly on the way down. Just leaning back, expecting some tension, and it wasn't there.
There was no tension.
It wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they looked when
I
they
feel like
long time ago.
the rookie to the event, Esther Nagy, is in a good position at the moment as second, because Francesca had 2 crashes. But Zara going into second, even though it was only a 2.6 because of the butt check. But Esther only needs 0.23 to overtake her. But now it's Mika's turn. Is she gonna make that gap wider, Luis?
You would expect so. She's really in. It doesn't look like she's in more than about second or third gear here.
No, she's not
looks
stressing.
comfortable.
She's also a really experienced competition rider, huh?
Well, probably the most experienced there is. Here she goes then, riding right foot forwards. Mega loop, delayed back roll. There'll probably be another rotation there.
Yeah.
2 rotations, perfect landing. She is marching into the final at this moment in time, but there's still enough moves from the others to get back into it. I think more importantly, she hasn't really nailed any big high sixes. That one could be well into six. It could be low sixes. But Hugenrad has a 6. It's all about someone, you know, if you're 3rd and 4th now, I think you'll be thinking, right, I need to be putting a 6 down in here. 5.9 from Francesca Maini. I think we're about to see where we really are in this heat once Francesca Maini gets a 3rd trick score down.
Yeah.
But she might not. You don't know. Like we
You
hope
never
so.
know,
We
yeah.
hope so.
6.3 for this laid back with the added rotation. So that's a good score for Mika.
Naj. Without the A. You can't say an A after it. I have to think of it like
Naj.
Russian. They said you've got to think
It's,
of it like Russian. I don't
Naj.
know Russian.
Yeah, me neither.
You have to do the F.
Oh, kite loop board off again. Unfortunately, not
She
getting
had
the
another bite at it.
Oh, the kite.
Oh,
Oh, but it's alright. She's just body sliding behind.
I think she had another bite at putting the board on there as the pressure now getting to her a little bit as she's realising that there'll only be 2 more trick attempts after this, but she's close to Zara. The important thing there is she's close to Zara, but Zara very likely going to go and put another contra loop in. The conditions obviously quite tricky right now as I look out to sea. I don't think it's more than 30 knot gusts coming in. I mean, it just sounds a bit low to say that, but then again, it gets a bit rougher now. Maybe the high gust is about 30, 31, but it's the low gust that I think is more worth talking about, because when you receive that low gust, either in the air or on your way into the trick,
then you cooked.
yeah, but coming into the beach now is Esther. I wonder if her lines did go through themselves there.
I don't think so.
It doesn't look too bad from here.
Wait.
What about the right-hand steering line?
It's alright, I think.
She might just be coming in to have a chat, but
Or to get a bigger kite.
maybe. Here we go. Left foot forward with purpose. Francesca Maini from the United Kingdom. Huge mega loop, straight mega loop, just to get the 3rd trick score in. Very sensible riding from her, and I expect that nice big solid mega loop to be scoring a baseline 5 to 5.5 just because of the height. It was quite high. The kite was in a good position. What do you think, Lasse?
I think it's going to be a 5, yeah.
Okay, so we
not gonna
split.
be
Should we
too
split the
much.
difference and go 5.25?
Yeah, I'm going to
Wanna
say
settle in the middle?
5.2.
5.2. I'm going to go 5.25 then. So I'm going to go 5.21. So if it's higher than 5.2, then I win.
Oh. 3.6.
Oh, okay. They obviously didn't like a straight kite loop.
But still,
Oh.
she's in 2nd position because she had 1 5.9 and 1 5.6. Now 3.6, which is higher than Zara's 2.6.
Can't believe it.
Oh, there's Zara coming for redemption. Landing this move. There's a replay
Yeah,
of
that's
this
a
one.
big deal. This is Hugenrad landing this. Yeah.
Contra.
The rotation helping the technicality. She'll be happy about that. She's now putting the pressure on Maini. She will overtake Francesca Maini now. Will she go into first of that? Because she could actually go into first with that move, by the way. 2.6 off that would knock her down 11.6. She could actually go into first place with that. It's becoming a battle between these top riders.
But I don't know if it's enough.
No, it's not enough to go. I think she needs a high 6 for
Yeah,
that, but
she
she's not
got a
miles away from
4.6
it.
for this.
Yeah. So now the pressure back on the other 2 riders.
Now Mika, has a bless you, Luis, has a last trick attempt for this. No, it's not a last. Sorry.
Yeah, it's the 5th trick attempt
sorry.
from Michaeli Sol, but she is last in the order.
Yeah,
so
last
I
in
think that's
the
what
order.
you meant.
Yeah. My
She's on a
brain went
7.3 then is
offline,
Francesca Maini, and I think she's got the right
Will we
kite.
see a boogie board off? No, I think she was thinking about this. Because yesterday we have seen in the first round a boogie board off from her. And I think it was one of the first ones she's done in quite some time. And she landed it. But this one is not going to scare really high. But she still has a gap to the 2nd position. So she can
She's
allow...
got a bit of a buffer,
Yeah.
as we call a buffer. Do you know?
Yeah, buffer.
Not to be confused with a buffet,
Buffet. Oh, we could go to buffet.
Is there a buffet around here?
I don't know.
I wouldn't class that as a buffet.
But I think now Esther. Am I pronouncing this correctly? I'm sorry.
I think you have to.
Esther.
Nage. Esther Nage. How am I doing now? You can't say an A afterwards, but she's representing Hungary. Only a 5% chance of getting through this heat, apparently.
But she's actually performing quite well with the technique.
She's consistent.
Yeah.
She's got the moves
Only
down.
one crash.
Can she step it up? Here's the big question now.
Did she come for a kite change?
I'm not sure.
Because
It looks
she
a
went
bit.
to
Does
the
it
beach.
look a bit bigger?
Yes.
I think it does look a bit bigger. So she's going all in.
Yeah. Okay. Now she's going to the left again. Her flag is up. And she is edging super hard. Going for another try for the kite loop board, but it's not reaching. Once she tried to touch her handle, the yank started to pull her away. So it was a bit impossible.
Would have been interesting if she'd gone for that, though, because...
That would be Yankee.
because her lower score is a 4.4 with that move.
Yeah.
If she'd ended up with something like a 6.4, 2 more points or even a point and a half would put her into third and wouldn't be miles away from Hugenrad, but she's only got one move. It's the last 2 trick attempts of all these riders. Of course, Esther just going for her first of her 2, so she's only got 1 left. So what's going to happen here? Right now, it is a repeat of that semi-final at the Red Bull King of the Air where Hugenrad ousted Francesca Maini. Will she get revenge, Francesca Maini? One very much feels like this move could be a pivotal point. It is a front roll contra loop by Francesca. Can she stick it? She dropped out a little bit there, but she does stick it. Keeps her composure. And let's see what happens here. She's already got a contra loop front roll, though. But that is her lowest trick score. But she's got a 3.6 score. Interesting she went that way round about it rather than replacing her lowest trick score of a 3.6. What do you think the reason for that was?
I think she just didn't feel comfortable going for another kite loop board of now. Probably she just wanted to improve the 5.6, but I don't know if
I don't think she needs to go for a kite loop board off at this moment in time. I know that, unfortunately for her, Zara Hugenrad gets the trick after her.
Yeah.
So she's not really going to change that much with that move. It's the 3.6 she needs to get rid of. I think that's just her most comfortable trick.
But she got a 6.1 for this contest.
Yeah, but it only kicks out a 5.6. She's only increased her score by half a point. So what she's done is left the door open for her last move, but now Zara Hugenrad can improve her contra loop front roll as well, perhaps.
Yeah.
Because she's only got a 4.6 for that. So there's a lot to play for here between these two. One tends to feel like Michaeli Sol now, comfortable in first place. Esther Nage has to really go for broke with her last move, but Zara Hugenrad in a very strong position here to try and make it through to this final. Her flag is raised. She will come back into the box. There's a bit of tension here, I think. We're now both standing up in the live stream booth looking at both the screen and out of the window as the strange
Boogie.
gust.
Boogie.
She lands it, so a boogie loop. She's already got a kite loop front roll of 5.0, so she'll be hoping to improve that a little bit. Do you think that's going to improve that?
A 5.0. It was high. I don't know.
It's an interesting strategy both Francesca and Zara are doing here. I'm interested as to why. I certainly, with Francesca, felt it would have been better to improve that 3.6. However, now with her last move, she knows that she can improve that one. And that's just a straight kite loop. What is she going to be thinking? Contra loop front roll.
Probably
kite loop
back roll,
roll.
contra loop or something.
That would be
Another trick family, or?
Yeah, it would be, but it might just be that she prefers a mega loop board off as something she finds easier to do. But there's a lot of pressure on that.
Zara got a 6.0 for this one, so Francesca really needs to upgrade her 3.6.
Yeah.
If it's only something higher than she, and Zara crashes her next trick, for instance, then Francesca.
Oh, this is big
is
though. Oh, this is really nice from Kaylee. Lots of downwind distance and
unfortunately
crashes.
crashing this one out.
But there wasn't too much pressure on her.
No, Mika is still safe up there. But now it gets interesting, because now it's the last trick attempt of the semi-final, of the second semi-final from the woman here at the Lords of Tram 2026 in the south of France. And who do you think, Luis, is the second woman that is going to go through into the final?
I don't know. I mean, it must
It's
be
hard,
in the back of your mind when you've had a really close heat with someone in the semi-final of the Red Bull King of the Air.
Yeah.
Months ago, you know, the last event where they just beat you. So that's what Francesca's got to go through now. I think it would have been nice. I think she may as well have just done a mega loop board off with that last move.
Yeah, because
she only upgraded by 0.5,
yeah.
you know, and she had 2 shots at replacing that 3.6. I think it would have been a different story now, pressure-wise, if Saga Hugenrad was sitting in the 3rd position. I think that would have been different. However, Francesca Maini is such a strong competitor. You know, she doesn't just compete in this discipline. She's like a top-level GB racer, so she'll have her reasons to go down this route. And I'm just hopeful that she can land that nice move. That's a nice big
boogie board off.
Oh.
Will she land this one? She does.
Oh my word!
She's so happy with this one.
Where did this come from?
Out of there wasn't like the last heat. She did a kite loop board off with the added rotation. Check the replay. Super nice and clean. Mika must have seen this one and thinking like, wow,
surely
you copied.
Surely this is what's she kicking out? She's kicking out a 4.1. So another. What does she need? She's going into second. I think she might go into second here.
Oh,
she needs.
This is a different play.
I
We haven't thought about that one.
Wow!
Wow!
All of Hungary now suddenly screaming. You forgot about her.
We didn't.
Kick out that 4 point. Is she going to get into the 7s? Let's just think about this. What does she need? She needs
8.4 to go first, but she only needs
6.5, I think.
I think she has that. Hey,
I think a 6.5
was so clean
would
and
put
high.
her on 16.9. It's roughly a 6.5. Puts her into second.
7.1.
Or maybe it was 7.5 that she needed. I think I got my...
But she's in third now.
Got my maths wrong there. So
but it was a strong move, last move for her, just to show, hey, okay, I'm here, I'm competing with you.
It's the highest trick score in this heat so far. That is unbelievable. It will up her ranking if it stays this way. So it's definitely put her a position higher in finishing.
Yes.
You know, she I mean, look, 0.29 off getting into second. That could have totally changed the game. So Francesca Maini now, what does she do? Does she think, right, I just need something solid like a 5 to get into second? Or does what would you do? I think she has to go for the mega loop board off here.
I think she knows that as well. Look, she's edging super hard to the left foot forward. Take off. Going for the kite loop board off tic-tac.
Oh, she went for
it's another deep dive there for her. She tried the tic-tac.
She went big. She went all for it, hoping that move.
But look, she's smiling.
She is smiling.
That's really important. But I unfortunately, that is probably the end.
Yeah, that will be unfortunately for her. But she's had a good competition.
Yeah, really strong performance.
No major caners and quite consistent as well. But I wonder if that just got in her head, that mega loop front roll board off. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
7.1.
She she
was so close to getting through to the final on the last move.
Yeah. Now it's Zara's last attempt for this semi-final, but I think she is already safe and sound in the final. So I'm pretty curious if she is still pushing or just playing it a bit safe.
It's a bigger contra front roll.
Really slowed down herself there on the landing. Nice. And now Mika.
Yeah.
Let's see if she's going into first position with this one, but I'm not too sure.
I don't think she's upgraded it enough there. So she was just thinking to upgrade. Oh no, she's got a contra loop front roll of 4.6. That could have upgraded it enough to put her in first. That could easily be a 6. If that's 1.4 more than what she's got already,
you're right.
Then it would this could put Zara in first, and really that would just change the order of the final, which means she would have a good shot I mean, looking at these numbers, though, I think they won't be last in order. I think they would be third in order because Lana had a very big heat score, if it's down to that, which we think it is in here. So we're still waiting for that score to drop.
5.6.
Okay, it wasn't huge. Thought it might have scored a bit more.
So now it just comes down to Mika. She already has the win in her pocket. Is she just gonna chill? She's a smart competition rider.
Well, after what we've seen with Lorenzo, nobody's safe and sound.
True that. Probably she's just coming in to check once again, but I think she knows already.
Good afternoon or good morning to wherever you are in the world. It's 13:27 here, 1:27 p.m. for those of you that can't do 24-hour time in the south of France. We are just closing out the final semi-final. It's confusing, isn't it? The last semi-final of the women. The finalists are ready in the men's department. We will be continuing on here with a short break, then the final of the women before going to the men. So 2 heats left remaining after this trick from Michele Sol. It's a...
Was it doobie?
Yeah. It's a doobie. The kite loop going in on the first roll, which is I guess a variation of the doobie.
Yeah.
And she's looked pretty comfortable. I don't think she had to push it too hard there, although when you look at the scores, only 0.1 separating Sol and Hugenrad here, but that will wrap up this semi-final as the yellow flag comes down. Am I missing something here? Why
are they still in line? Because
have they been given another trick attempt, or why are they all still in line?
No, probably they just want to say bye-bye.
Maybe. For the crowd. They're all lining up for the crowd.
That's quite cool.
That is quite cool. Yeah, they're just their flags are all down. We'll be back very shortly. Let's go to an advert break.
Strong
advert break.
Yeah. I just wanted to say strong performance from all of these riders there on the water. It was really impressive. All right, we're going to an ad break and we will be back shortly.